That's better. Hello, welcome to another article of Mediocre Man magazine. I'm your host, Mediocre Man. We've been doing pretty good with these projects on the go. Starting to lose a little bit of, I guess, inspiration. I don't know if it's inspiration or just ideas, I guess, in general. And on top of that, my wife, after finally catching up on the episodes, she started getting a little upset. And she goes, you know, can you try and repair it? It makes me sound like I'm such a bad person in all of your stories. And I go, babe, why would I ruin a good story with the truth? But no, all in all, I just want to put a little disclosure out there. My wife is amazing. I wouldn't be with her if she wasn't. She's forever supportive. And, well, she married an idiot like me, so it is what it is. Her seeing eye dog loves me. But yeah, I got a couple more projects lined up here in the house. And then I'm starting to get pretty caught up here, and yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit of feedback. I'm gonna need some support from my subscribers, some of the fans, I guess is what I'll call it. But today I thought I'd go over. We have one more room in the house that needs to be painted and upgraded. So I'm gonna just go over the basics of what it takes to get set up and you know, prep a room for painting a room and getting it all finished up with the trim. To say the least, here we go. The basics of painting a room. That's better. First things first, before last things last, get the drop cloths on the floor first, then get the cover plates off the wall that goes all around the lights and plug-in receptacles. Then score the caulking above any trim if you have any trim on the walls, and then get the trim off the walls. It's a lot easier to paint without the trim, and then start mudding. So 50% of painting is prep and the other 50 is application. So I consider the mudding a part of the prep. Grab any sort of hardware store spackle. There's tons of different kinds. Get an all-purpose one. I usually just get it on a big knife like so. And before you apply it, I kind of get the bubbles out of it. I kind of just work it a bit. So you're going to work it on the wall anyways, and if it's got the bubbles, you're just going to have to apply more. You kind of want to get it worked. So I kind of play with it a bit, and it kind of thins out and gets easier to work with first. So that much can do quite a bit. This here is a little mounting hole, like it has a little hole here, and you'll find that it kind of flares outwards. What you want to do is take the butt end of your putty knife and make a bigger indent. There's another one here. There, it's got two little indents now, right? And they're even. And then just apply. By doing the indent, it kind of fills in better, nothing pokes out, and then it's actually quite a bbit more forgiving. And then try and get like a 6-inch putty knife if you need one, and then you can just, then you know it's even. It's just that simple. You get the main stuff inside the divot, and then just spread it on evenly, and it comes out quite nice. I've never really had too many problems with doing the patchwork by doing it that way. Next thing I gotta do is, you know, you want to label the baseboards to make sure they go back on in the right order, as well as they'll have little brad nails sticking out the end of them. Just grab a set of pliers out the back end, grab hold, and just pull them all out, okay? Right, come out nice and easy, work your way down, pull all of them out. As well, the next step after you pull them all out would be to go along, and they have all the caulking line along the edge, and I just take a knife and I just score that all off. Cut off all the excess because you're going to reapply the caulking. So you just want to go flat like this along all the top edge. Make sure on the edge like this was a corner where there would have been caulking, and just cut all the edge off so you can reapply so it fills in the gap that you had just cut off when you put a new set of caulking on. Just work your way down. After you go ahead and pull out all the brad nails, cut off all the caulking. Time for a little taping in certain areas where you didn't maybe either take off trim or things that need to be protected, and then it's time to get ready for paint. Wish me luck, here we go! Just got a brand new bucket of paint, ready to start painting these walls. The first thing I did is I popped the gallon of paint open. I used this and started a bit of trim. There was a lot of paint on this lid. I started a bit of the trimming already, got the excess of paint off, then washed it off. So then now when I open and close the paint can, I'll take a piece of cellophane and then I'll put this on top. It keeps it airproof and it keeps the can cleaner. So that's just really important when working with paint. So I'm gonna put this aside for now. And now I'm gonna start doing my edging around all of the walls and receptacles, and then on to rolling. So wish me luck, here we go.
Hold out for one more drink to come. It's just too early to leave. I wear my heart out on my sleeve, cause you know I wanna take you on with me tonight. I wanna kiss you by the firelight, cause when the morning comes, I wanna know we had some fun. And I've gotta let you know that nothing can.
Time to roll on some paint. Start with a little bit at a time, obviously. I don't know why I always say obviously. It's not obvious, or else if it was obvious, I wouldn't have to say it. Yeah, put a little bit into the tray at a time. And when you do that, it's always easier to add more to the tray, but it's quite a pain in the butt to try and pour it back out or cleaning it later. So yeah, try your best to obviously keep it as clean, as tidy as possible. Then you get on your roller. Just kind of get a lot on it at first, into the roller, kind of roll it a few times, get it right into all the fibers first, because it kind of sucks it up like a sponge at first. Got a lot on there, and yeah, you don't have to worry too much about going on the edges. It's already painted it.
As if I never felt the heat before. We tore up the sheets, alright, just like watching wipers fly.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells,
Jingle bells,
jingle all the way.
oh what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Dashing through the snow,
The snow,
one-horse open sleigh.
today,
O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
today, and on Monday, making our spirits bright.
What fun it is to ride and sing a sleigh song tonight.
All right, now to do 4 more walls. Here we go. Wish me luck. Okay, so I've done 2 coats of the eggshell on all the walls. All the walls are white, looking pretty good. Now it's time to do the trim. So I usually use a semi-gloss for the trim because that's where you might scuff with your feet and it wipes off better. I also use semi-gloss in all of the windows and all of the doors. It wipes off better, it's got that gloss so you can just wipe it off with some soap and water. The window I have now is definitely done with an eggshell. There's a lot of scuff marks on it. It's going to come out a lot cleaner. It'll be like with the semi-gloss there, you can wipe it down a lot easier. It just looks a lot better. So I'm going to use the trim white on all of these baseboards, and then I just need to take a brad nailer and nail them all on. So with that being said, wish me luck. Here we go. So it's the next morning, just real quick. Had to let everything, all the paint dry overnight. I've already done my conclusion, but just wanted to show this. You'll see that obviously in a moment. But yeah, basically I painted a new coat of paint on the baseboards, and it's quite simple. I mean, you can do this with hand nails as well. You don't need many. There's a stud along the bottom, so that's the more important one. Make sure you kind of press it down so it's nice and even. You'll hit the top bead with some caulking after, but above. Now I just push in on this side. Alright, so now all I gotta do is fill this top part with caulking, fill this with some mud, just where the nail holes are, and a little touch-up paint. That's it as I go around, but all I gotta do now is just throw the rest of the baseboards on, so here we go. Wish me luck.
For one more song to sing, can't stand the thought that you would leave. I got no tricks right up my sleeve, cause you know I wanna keep you here with me tonight. I wanna kiss you till the break of light. When the
That's better. Okay, so I painted a room, did the trim, got it mounted. Need some touch-up, some caulking, things like that. But yeah, that's the basics of painting a room. I'm running short on inspiration. I'm needing some ideas from the people out there. What do they want me to do? And I I didn't know how to get you guys to get more involved into what I'm doing out here. So a friend of mine, Kezzy, she had suggested that I do a little, I guess, a sweepstakes or a prize for the best idea. So basically, in the comments below, whoever comes up, the best idea for what I should do next, or basically whatever I do next, will get a 12-inch by 24-inch custom CNC plaque, which is pretty close to this size right here. So that's what I'm offering. Best idea. Whatever I choose, I'll select you, I'll reach out to you, and I'll let you know in the next episode about whoever comes up with the idea for what I'm going to do next, because I'm needing a little bit of feedback and I want a little bit of inspiration. So yeah, there's a prize on the line this time, and I'll reach out to you and we'll design it together. And so hopefully that entices some people to get a little more involved in the comments below. So I want to hear a little bit of feedback from my subscribers and followers and listeners. Beer in the fridge this week. I picked up the brand new Wayne Gretzky Craft Brewing number 99 lager made from rye hops, and it tastes like it's missing something. I know what it's missing. Defense. Yeah, no, it's a decent beer. You can tell it's got that big brew. I know, even though, you know, it seems like they've tried to sell it as a small batch kind of thing. It's all right, but it's got that rye grain aftertaste, malty liquor aftertaste. I'm not really a fan of, but I can see some people liking it. But I don't know if I'd get this one again, to be perfectly honest. I'm glad I tried it. It was good enough. It was a 12x4 pack. I'm happy to have had a few of them, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'll get it again. But all in all, middle of the road. Yeah, decent beer. So going forward. Like I said, there's a prize on the line. I want to get some feedback from some people for once. Make sure that you guys are actually paying attention to what I'm putting out there, and I want to hear from you all about what I'm gonna build. This is Mediocre Magazine, and I'm Mediocre Man.